The polls say it's tight, and by this time tomorrow, counting will be underway after one of the longest election campaigns in our history. The last full day of campaigning was dominated by Medicare, with Bill Shorten attacking Malcolm Turnbull over claims bulk billing hasn't been cut back. In his final pitch, the Prime Minister guaranteed patients will not pay more to see a doctor.
You're on green.
All right.
Okay.
You're safe.
8 weeks down, 24 hours to go.
Very good to see you.
And in the home straight, a sprint to the finish.
Yeah, we're getting close now. You hang on, Liz.
Yeah.
Both leaders in crucial marginal seats in Sydney's west.
They're going to win.
In a last-ditch grab for the undecided.
To build or tomorrow.
As the polls show, it's neck and neck, with little or no movement in 8 weeks. The messages are by now robotic.
Technology, innovation.
I love innovation. I love technology.
For a hyped-up Malcolm Turnbull, it's of course the economy.
A strong coalition majority government and the national economic plan that is delivering strong growth and jobs today.
For Bill Shorten, it's of course Medicare, seizing on this.
Do you guarantee no more cuts to bulk billing?
There are no cuts to bulk billing.
This is a new low. It is outrageous. It is untruthful. Vote for Labor. We will save Medicare.
Malcolm Turnbull guaranteed patients will pay no more.
Bulk billing is at an all-time high.
On election eve, one poll found a quarter could vote for minor parties and independents, and the Prime Minister says that threatens a hung parliament.
We have the Labor Party promising higher debt, higher deficits, higher taxes. And if that wasn't bad enough, the prospect of a hung parliament and some sort of chaotic alliance with Greens and independents.
The Greens relish the prospect of being power brokers.
There's never been a more exciting time to be a Green. People are looking forward to the Greens' best result yet.
Just vote Labor. We won't be forming a coalition with the Greens.
Labor insiders remain optimistic, and while the polls show it's close after preferences, the ALP primary vote is still low, maybe too low to get them across the line in their own right. One last picture, one last pitch.
We will not let you down. Thank you.
It is close. It really is close. I'm asking every Australian to vote for stable coalition majority government.
Lane Kelcart, 9 News.
Polling booths close in just under 24 hours, and the leaders are using every last minute to shore up vital votes. Charles Croucher filed this report on how the Prime Minister will see out the end of his campaign.
Well, after 8 weeks on the road, a quiet night for the Prime Minister, wife Lucy and the family at Point Piper tonight. Tomorrow they'll vote in the electorate of Wentworth here in Sydney and then visit some of the booths around the city. Important for the morale of those working, also to sway some undecided voters. We understand some million Australians still haven't made up their mind over who they'll vote for. A lot at stake for the country, a lot at stake also for Malcolm Turnbull. If he were to lose, he'd be the first Prime Minister since Billy McMahon 4 decades ago to never win an election.
Let's go now to Lauren Giannoli. And Lauren, Bill Shorten is really maximising the last moments of his campaign.
He is, Georgie. Good evening. From day one, the opposition leaders acknowledged he's the underdog in this 8-week marathon. And today, he spent almost every minute trying to get on top, campaigning across 4 marginal seats in Sydney's south and west. Rather than returning to his hometown tonight, he is staying in Sydney for a charity event where we understand he's going to be helping to feed the homeless. Now, Labor strategists see Western Sydney as where tomorrow's vote will be decided. And Bill Shorten will be back in Labor heartland tomorrow morning, making a final pitch to voters as they cast their ballot before returning to Melbourne to cast his own and watching those results come in. Georgie.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Sydney's West has again proved a key battleground throughout the 8-week campaign. After weeks of wooing voters, the region could hold the balance of power for the major parties, and with just hours to go, both know the fight is far from over.
In the last 8 weeks, Western Sydney has been a revolving door of cameras and politicians. Turnbull and Howard.
Mr. Howard, we love you!
Shorten and Hawke. That's because a swag of seats are up for grabs in New South Wales. Lindsay near Penrith is one, a traditional bellwether. But Liberal sources are supremely confident incumbent Fiona Scott will win.
When I see the result, then I'll believe the result, but I'm completely focused on how I can best serve this community.
In the inner west seat of Grayndler, Anthony Albanese is likely to hold off a Greens onslaught. But just how strong the protest vote will be is still a bit of an unknown.
I'm feeling confident, but certainly not complacent, and I'm working hard.
Labor is desperately worried seats they hold could fall. Greenway around Rouse Hill and Blacktown is so close, senior Labor sources say Michelle Rowland could very well lose.
This is always a close seat. The electorate needs to be treated with respect, which is what I've done, and we'll find out tomorrow night.
Labor is expected to pick up Barton with Linda Burney, whereas the Campbelltown seat of Macarthur, held by Liberal MP and former police officer Russell Matheson, is very much 50-50 and is unlikely to be decided tomorrow night. Plus, a surge by Liverpool Mayor Ned Manoon in Werriwa has some nervous that there's more than an outside chance the seat could turn blue.
The main thing is the people here is that they have a strong voice down in Canberra, and that's why we look forward to working with them, representing them and being that strong voice.
Of the 21 seats Labor need to win government, they're targeting 9 in New South Wales. Most of them are in Western Sydney, so whoever wins here has every chance of winning government. Chris O'Keefe, 9 News.
And now to Nine's political editor Laurie Oakes with his final thoughts on the campaign.
Well, thank God that's over. All over by the voting anyway. An election campaign so long, 55 days, that even the Prime Minister who called the election is complaining about it. There's one consolation. A dull campaign doesn't mean a dull election night. So don't be surprised if there's more excitement in the vote count tomorrow night than we've seen since Malcolm Turnbull went to Government House all those weeks ago to advise a double dissolution. Mr Turnbull obviously thinks it's in the bag. Labor's own nightly polling in marginal seats, though, is keeping Bill Shorten's hopes alive right to the end. It showed a 4% swing last night. All this started so long ago that we've just about forgotten one of the reasons for the double dissolution, to clear out the strange collection of independents and micro-parties from the Senate and make it more manageable for the government. But it's clear already that the new Senate will be just as weird as the old one, with Pauline Hanson likely to win a spot in Queensland, Darren Hinch a big chance in Victoria, Jackie Lambie confident in Tasmania, a significant new group under the banner of South Australian Senate show-off Nick Xenophon, and so on. So the good news is, whoever wins tomorrow will still have to deal with a pretty crazy upper house.
And of course, Laurie will lead our comprehensive election